Ready for some more skiing here in Whitefish, Montana. Back in the Bay Area, sports on fire. Giants, extra innings. What are they, 6-1? They win on opening day. And then the Warriors, with Brandon Aiyuk in attendance, deliver the win against the Denver Nuggets. And you know what? I think Brandon Aiyuk's stock is actually starting to rise now. Obviously, he's not going to be traded. And, I mean, he's making a public appearance there, giving Steph Curry a high five. Fans seem to love it. I think that when you look at that, combined with the injury status, Kyle Shanahan did not rule out a week 1 return for Brandon Aiyuk. It's a whole lot better timetable than the Adam Schefter mid-season quote that we had seen just a few days before that. So maybe Brandon Aiyuk will be back on the sooner end of the spectrum. It's not like the 49ers have much of a choice in this situation. They couldn't trade him. It wasn't feasible with the torn ACL and torn MCL. And to be honest, I'm just glad my knee's okay. She almost got me right now. It was a fancy kind of stop. Yeah.
With the powder spray.
Margot is such a good skier. It's unbelievable. Now, if I spin around, call out to the guys, Margot. They're ahead of us.
Hey, pansies! They don't identify
guys.
as pansies.
Chaz!
Joe! Mark! Smile for the camera.
There they are. They don't like it. Oh, Mark's afraid of the cliff.
Good thing he owns a roofing business.
Yeah, good thing he owns a roofing business. He's afraid of heights. This is the height that we're talking about here in Whitefish, Montana.
So scenic.
We have the town behind us, and we have the cliff right underneath us. Anyway, Brandon Aiyuk for the 49ers, you know, the stock has been dropping for quite some time, ever since the contract, right? I mean, even during the contract negotiations, it's time for, you know, some more positivity regarding Brandon Aiyuk. And if he can come back and deliver what he did in like 80% of what he did in 2023, the 49ers offense is going to be a whole lot better for it. The guy can separate. Last year, the hands weren't there. He dropped so many key passes, but I think it's because he missed practice, don't you think? I mean, he wasn't in camp, Margot. I know that you had a problem with that. I think a lot of people had a problem with that. But if you're not on your horse or you're not on skis for a prolonged period of time, you're going to be rusty.
Well, yeah, he's only human.
He's only human. So I think he needs to get back to it, right? When the rehab is finished, I think there's going to be motivation. There should be. I mean, the 49ers were not intent on silencing the trade rumors. Maybe that was a way to motivate Brandon Aiyuk in a way, because I think it was apparent throughout the entire process that this guy would not be tradable just because of the ACL and the MCL. But the 49ers did very little to pour water on the trade rumors. And if you remember, the one thing that motivated Brandon Aiyuk last year when he wouldn't sign the contract in front of him was the 49ers saying, okay, fine, we'll trade you to the Steelers. And then he comes running in saying, no, I'll sign the contract. Don't send me to Pittsburgh. When push came to shove, when the 49ers showed him that he was expendable to them, he signed the contract. Well, this year, you know, you're talking about the entire saga of 2024. Wasn't pretty, wasn't good before he tore his ACL. Now the 49ers want to make sure his head's on straight as he recovers. You know, maybe not shutting down some of those trade rumors was the way of motivating Brandon Aiyuk. But the rapport that he had with Brock Purdy in 2023 was special. And if you're talking about paying Purdy, you're talking about this commitment that they're about to make to Brock Purdy, you want to surround him with the pieces that make him the best. And we've already seen the 49ers do other moves. They made sure that Kyle Juszczyk is back. They added Luke Farrell so George Kittle can go out on more pass routes. They've replaced Deebo Samuel. Demarcus Robinson might be a better fit with Brock Purdy. Obviously, Ricky Pearsall's a better fit, I think, with Purdy's skill set than Deebo Samuel. But the one biggest puzzle piece in all of this, as far as being in line with Purdy and the separation the 49ers need to generate, is Brandon Aiyuk. I mean, hands down, Brandon Aiyuk is the top X receiving talent on this football team. And we can't forget about Jawan Jennings. Jennings can fill in for Aiyuk at the X while Aiyuk is out. Demarcus Robinson can play the X. I get it. Those are both really talented veteran guys. But if you can get Aiyuk at 80% of what he had been before, this offense can turbocharge to another level. Your favorite player is Juwan Jennings, right? What do you remember about the football camp with Juwan?
Just really personable, social, gregarious, extroverted dude.
He is a personality.
Loves the game, loves the people behind the game.
And that's the same guy that pisses opponents off so much that they all pick up personal foul flags. Isn't that cool that he's got that duality of personality?
Yeah.
Tennessee guy, Margot, Tennessee natives, saving the 49ers one player at a time. Brandon Aiyuk is not from Tennessee. He's from Nevada. He's from Reno. All right, cameo time for Mark. You said that you wanted to talk about how great the 49ers are.
Well, the 49ers are my favorite team. They're the best team in the world, you know? And I love the 49ers. And we're here in Whitefish on Whitefish Mountain. Eddie DiBartolo happens to live in Whitefish, like a few miles south.
Right, you could see his house.
And Eddie and I are friends. I mean, friends. we're friends. I mean, I know him, but we're not really buddies. But he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he paved the way to a lot of championships for the 49ers. He was not afraid to spend.
No.
And it was before the salary cap.
Yeah, well, he bought Super Bowls. And
Well-
I'm not afraid to say that, and I'm glad he did.
Well, the reason for the salary cap is likely because Eddie
yeah.
did what he did.
Right.
But you had some great memories. How are you a 49ers fan? Tell that story.
I
really
moved to San Francisco when I was like 10 years old. Right, it was like 1981, and the 49ers were terrible. And then Montana was there, and I just, they kept winning, and I just couldn't stop, being a 49er fan after that. It was hard to, they just were a dominant, dynasty. And I've just been a fan ever since.
Best single memory?
Best single memory is winning my 19-point spread in Super Bowl. Was it 20? What was that Super Bowl when they beat the Chargers
29 against the
26?
Chargers? They were 19-point favorites. We were
19
talking about that.
And I put a bet on 19 points, and we covered, thanks to Deion Sanders.
Unbelievable.
It was amazing.
You don't see a 19-point spread in the regular season
Never.
anymore.
I can't remember the last time I've ever seen a 19. I think that's the last 19-point spread we've had.
And how about this mountain?
It's
How about
so
that
nice,
view over there?
yeah.
I'll splice this in a little bit later. That's Glacier Park, right?
Yeah, it is a Chamber of Commerce day here in Whitefish, and I couldn't ask for better conditions. Fantastic.
We'll see you guys.